For children, language is really helpful but not necessary for understanding theory of mind. Again, that idea that you're going to be imagining someone else entertaining an idea that's different from yours, right? A perspective that's different from yours. So what evidence do we have for adults then? Is it necessary for adults, or is it just something that they like to rely on? So there was an interesting study in 2007 using something called verbal shadowing. It's a technique that interrupts subconscious use of language for cognitive offloading. And an example of verbal shadowing would be trying to say exactly what someone else is saying right after they're saying it. So you have to pay very close attention to what they're saying, the exact form of what they're saying, and repeat it as quickly as you can while they're still moving on to the next thing that they're saying. That's one way to kind of interrupt the subconscious use of language. And so that's what they did with these adults. They had them do this kind of verbal shadowing and found that adults fail false belief tasks when you basically interrupt their subconscious use of language. But rhythm shadowing, so it's the same idea, except instead of following language and repeating language, you're following a rhythm, say that someone's tapping out and you're trying to tap it out again, shadowing them as fast as you can while they're still moving on. Adults doing rhythm shadowing, which presumably would interrupt their sequential tracking or something like that, but not their language use. Adults doing rhythm shadowing can still pass the false belief test, which suggests that adults are unconsciously relying on language when reasoning about theory of mind. Well, interestingly, a study in 2012 says, well, let's be a little more careful about this. Let's match the demands on working memory that the verbal and the rhythm shadowing require. And when you do that, because it turns out rhythm shadowing is a little easier than verbal for working memory, but it turns out that adults struggle to pass false belief tasks no matter which kind of shadowing they're doing. So while language might be a very extraordinarily helpful tool for adults, they can still pass them as long as basically their working memory isn't overloaded.